You know Archie, that ageless, freckle-faced, redheaded kid from Riverdale that has been around since 1941. And over the decades, he and the gang have appeared in countless comics, numerous Saturday morning cartoons, and was even in a band that had a chart-topping hit. So when was the last time you saw a large collection of Archie? You haven't, but you're about to. So grab your Letterman sweater and let's head to Sacramento, California for a fantastic collection of Archie.
Collector Guys.
Welcome to Collector Guys. We're here with Jim in a house that's full of amazing pop culture collectibles. And Jim, I wanted to ask you how you got going in the first place here.
Well, my mom and my dad, they moved around a lot when they were kids, so they didn't have a lot of things left over as they got older. They were given away. So my mom encouraged my brother and I to collect whatever we wanted, and then she would go whole hog in and help us get the items that we wanted, or we'd make up our little wish lists, and she'd pass it out at Christmas times. Though we got, all of the cool things that I still have.
If you bring somebody through this house,
Yes.
How would you explain what they're going to see?
They're going to see a mishmash of probably from the 1960s to the mid-70s pop culture stuff.
Okay.
I've got toys.
Nice.
I've got cereal toys. I've got comics. I've got full set of Wizard of Oz books, which is pre-1960s.
Right.
It's kind of like you walk through the house, you're walking through my childhood.
Do you remember the first thing, even as a kid, that you got, they were like, I need more of these?
Comics.
Okay.
That was the first thing. That's what I started learning to read with before I started kindergarten. My mom would buy golden books and then buy my brother and I comics, and we would sit with her and she would work with us on our reading and taught us to read.
So there's definitely an Archie theme to this room. There's a lot of stuff going on in this room, but there's a lot of Archie stuff. Why Archie?
When I was a little kid, we would read Archie, and it was always fun. It was what I thought, as 6, 7 years old, a teenager's life would be like. It wasn't, but that's what I thought it would be. The stories weren't heavy. They were fun. There was nothing controversial. There was nothing that just made you go, oh God, and then put it to the side and have to digest it all. It was 6 easy pages to a story, and then moved on to the next thing.
Well, Jim, I want to talk about these.
Those are from 1969. They came on the back of Super Sugar Crisp. And you would buy your box of cereal. You're supposed to eat the cereal and then cut it out. Nobody did. You pull the bag out and then grab the scissors and start cutting them out. They ran on, I believe, 33 1/3 speed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they had multiple songs by the Archies, and they were the songs that they used on the Archie cartoon show.
There's some really fascinating artwork over here. Jim, if you could tell us about these 3 things here in the corner.
Sure. This is a piece of original Archie artwork. It's the only one that I have displayed. I have a couple of others that are put away. This one is from 1998, and I picked this up on eBay. And back when I bought it, it was, got it for a song. Now
Nice.
You can't get original art for a song.
No.
But it was just something that I had wanted. I thought, it'd be really cool to have an original piece in here.
Oh, yeah.
And so I picked that one up. This one was made for me as a birthday gift a couple of years ago.
Wow.
A friend of mine who is a very talented artist, was a professor at Sac State, and it was a puppeteer, did a paper cutting for me of Archie.
Wow.
And then this one was another birthday gift, and it is a drawing of me with Archie done by Dan Parent, who's the current Archie artist.
What is the very first Archie collectible you ever had?
That would be this piece here. It's Archie and the gang and his jalopy. It came in a box of alphabets in 1969, and the cutout of the characters is the cutout that was on the back of the box. So it's not a reproduction of the cutout, it's the actual piece of paper from 1969.
So are these serial premiums?
Those
too?
are Jumpin' Archies.
Okay.
And what happened in 1969 when the cartoon started, they hooked up with Post Cereals and put out a whole bunch of different toys that you would get in the box of cereal.
Sure.
And so there was the Jumping Archies, and then there's the the rub-ons.
Okay.
Everything's printed backwards, and
Wow.
these would be for rubbing onto a binder or
So you
something
would
like that.
rub. You wouldn't put a hot iron to them. You would actually
These would be rubbed.
rub in.
Yeah.
Okay. These here, I think I know what these are from, but can you explain the glasses here?
Sure. Those are from Welch's Grape Jelly.
Yes.
They did 2 different series, and I just got the last couple ones of these a few weeks ago.
Wow.
I had been working on that for years, and then I finally decided, you know what? It's not that hard to get the rest of them. Let's just do the whole thing.
Now this all coincides with our childhood and the fact that Archie's were on Saturday morning cartoons in some form or another. It was like the Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny hour. It had different names, but it was on for a while, I believe, wasn't it?
It was on for a long time. They did Archie, Archie's Funhouse, U.S. of Archie. I'm surprised that they didn't come out with more and more and more, and just keep that thing running.
You have so many great things in here. Let's just go across the row here. Let's start with this shelf right here.
Okay, we've got the Jughead hat, which is 1968.
Wow.
It's an older era hat. I didn't get this back when I was a kid. It's something that I acquired much later. I saw it online and then went hunting for it.
Wow.
And then found it at a reasonable
and that
price.
is felt?
It is felt.
And it survived this time, huh?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm really happy with the condition that
That
it's
is in
in for
very
its
good
age.
condition for something that's that old.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've got the Archie tambourine by M&E.
Okay.
They put out a whole set of instruments with toy horns and drum and everything, and then the tambourine.
Wow. So some crazy parent actually bought that for their kid to make noise with, right?
Mine sure didn't, but yes, somebody did. This is an advertisement for Roland, which is a skating place in Massachusetts. And apparently, as I've discovered from looking online, there were ads for skating places all over the country using this.
So this is not like a bootleg where somebody stole and made their own Archie. This is actually This was licensed
through
by
Archie. And
Wow.
they sold it to different skate establishments all over the place.
That's probably one of those things that a lot of them probably didn't survive over the years.
No, I've only seen this one and one other one, and so I keep my eye open to try to find them from different places.
And in the back of this shelf, I see some coloring books.
Yeah, those are Archie coloring books from 1969. That I had them when I was a kid. Those aren't the ones that I had. Mine got colored in, but I've since picked up. But it was one of those things where I saw it and it's like, oh gosh, my childhood all over again.
Wow.
And so I had to get them. And then in front of that is Archie and Veronica. I'm on the hunt for the Jughead and Sabrina.
Okay.
And I want them to be in their blister packs.
There was no Betty in this one?
There was no Betty in this one. It was really weird.
The Archie Club. That must have been back in the 60s too, huh?
It ran into the 80s.
Wow.
But yes, my club card is from the 60s, and I've got a pin from the 40s and another pin from the 60s. And then up here, I've got the Archie's gang pins that came out of gum machines.
Wow.
And then there's the paper front that went on the gum machines, so you knew what you were getting.
Wow. Now, I don't see a lot of Reggie. Is Reggie not as merchandised as, say, Jughead and Arch?
He was the bad guy. So
There's some Reggie in here. He's not totally...
yeah, there's a few pieces here and there, but he was more the bad guy, and so I guess kids would have been less likely to buy him.
Interesting. I was always a Jughead fan, so I was all about Jughead. So I always ask everybody when I go through their collection, God hope this never happens, but if you could only run in here and grab 5 things, what would be the 5 Archie collectibles? We'll even narrow it down to that.
Okay.
What are the 5 Archie collectibles that are the top of your list? Like I'd have to get those out of the house.
The Archie card,
Okay.
Jughead's hat,
Makes sense?
and these 3 pieces of art.
Well, you know what? I'll let you count those as one. So I'll give you 2 more.
Oh my gosh, I get 2 more things?
Yes.
Then the Jumpin' Archies.
Yes.
And the Archie and Veronica that are in their blister packs, because you don't come across them still in their packs.
Think you know Archie? How about some quick Archie trivia? Most of us know Archie's last name is Andrews, but do you know the rest of the gangs? Well, there's Jughead Jones, Betty Cooper, Veronica Lodge, and Reggie Mantle. Now, here's some extra credit for these two. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, her name is Sabrina Spellman. And how about Josie from Josie and the Pussycats? Her full name is Josie McCoy. Did you know Archie is Scottish American? Which kind of makes sense with the red hair. And how about Sugar Sugar was a hit song, and we know it was a hit song, but did you know it was the #1 song of the entire year of 1969, topping tunes from groups like the Rolling Stones and the Temptations? So there you go, a look at everything Archie. A big thank you to Jim in Sacramento for sharing his collection with us, and thank you for watching Collector Guys. Hit that bell and please subscribe, and always remember, surround yourself with what you love.